I'm L.A. Anthony Bell. I'm an American. I've been living in Morocco for a little more than 10 years. And the novel that I've written here is based on real events that happened to me in the first 2 years I was here in Morocco. After the real events, then there's a lot of fiction which is woven in for several reasons to make it more interesting. Not that my life wasn't interesting, but it's about a man, 50-year-old man, who's just gone through a life crisis and who's looking for an identity. He's looking for a new place in life. He's looking for his purpose in life, and comes to Morocco and discovers the culture, discovers the religion, and finally adapts to this specific culture and this religion and embraces Islam as his own religion. Before coming to Morocco, I didn't have a religion, so I can't say I converted to Islam because I didn't have a religion. This said, I believed in a higher power. I believed in a lot of things that I later would find in the Quran. When I came to Morocco, I didn't have any idea what Islam was. I thought if I'm going to live and work in this country, I need to know something about Islam. So I bought an English translation of the Quran and I started reading. And the more I read and the more I read, the more I found things which spoke to me. And I thought, I think this is the right way for me. Maybe it's the right way for others. For some people it's not. For my mother it definitely wasn't. My mother just left me. I tried very hard to convince her, but she stayed convinced that Jesus is the Son of God. That's fine. She was a great person, and I respect all people and all people's beliefs. I started reading a lot very early in life. I had a major life crisis at 9 years old when my family moved from the Rocky Mountains in Montana. I was a country boy. I was living on an Indian reservation, and we moved to the inner city black ghetto in Chicago. This is 1969, a year after the Chicago riots, just after Martin Luther King was assassinated, and I was a little white boy in a black neighborhood. I got my ass kicked every day. So, in order to escape my very harsh reality at the time, I started reading. Reading became an addiction, an escape, to escape my reality. So it was my drug, but it's a good drug. It was such a good drug that later on, when I was 17, I dropped out of school because I was way ahead of everyone, and I took my high school diploma just by taking exams. And I scored 70 of 70 possible points in the English literature because of my extensive reading. I have a lot of different influences. It would be difficult to talk about influences. Of course, I like Steinbeck. Steinbeck is probably one of my favorite authors. My writing I can't say my writing resembles any of the people who I admire. On the other hand, it's very specific. It's very personal style. This is written in an autobiographical style. It's written, almost all of the book is written in the present tense, so that we're living the events as they happen. Sometimes I write in the past tense. This one I wanted to write in the present tense, and I think it's better like that. So, to discover, it's got, other than having many events, high and low, there are moments that you want to cry. Seriously, some people have told me they cried when they read the book. There are other moments that are very humorous, and there are moments that are philosophical. So we have a little bit of everything. I think this book will be very interesting to Moroccans. I wrote it specifically for English speakers in Morocco. And I think that Moroccans can identify and discover their culture through the eyes of an American. It's written from an American perspective, and it's also very good for Americans for that reason. Also for people who are trying to learn English. The fact that it's written by an American in a very spontaneous way. I didn't reflect about grammatical structure or about the words I was using, the vocabulary. I just told my story. And so we find many typical expressions that we don't find in textbooks. This is what's good about any type of novel reading, is that you find typical expressions. And in the context, they're easy to understand. Also for Americans who want to discover a little bit of Morocco, it could be a very good thing.